here while the old Facebook Live is warming up. I'll do the quick intros as I normally do. Hopefully everyone's had a great weekend. Just adjusting a few things here. Ooh. There we go. Oh, good morning. There's Margaret. Welcome back to the regulars, back to the show. Great to see you guys jumping on straight away. Fantastic. Hey, good morning, Margaret. Good morning, James. Good morning, Aaron. There's Yasmin. There's Graham. Good morning to you guys. Great to see you. Great to see you dialing in, as always. While things are getting going, I'll give a bit of a shout out to anyone who's new. Hello. Welcome to the morning Wealth Coffee Chats, where we get to hang out with some crazy cool crew like Andrew, Arnie, and more. And we talk a little bit about the idea of property investing, growing our portfolios, going the distance. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint. If you want to build a good property portfolio, my advice is to buy well, never sell. That's what I like the idea of. And if you're new to the Wealth Coffee Chat, welcome along. My name is Jason Whitten, and I've been property investing over 20 years and coaching property investors over 18 with my business partner, Sam Saggers, across Australia and New Zealand, and my other business partner, Sue Irons. And we've been helping property investors build their property portfolios, but more importantly, go the distance, last as property investors. And good morning to you, my love, my partner in business and my partner in life, Shay Whitten, dialing in too, which is lovely. Alinta, good to see you. So, hey, welcome. Good to have all of you guys jumping on line this morning. So, what I wanted to talk about today is the idea of the exchanges. Exchanges go on all the time, and I don't know if you notice or realize that we're exchanging things in our lives and getting something for it, whether that's intentional or not. We're in the exchange world, and in real estate and property, there's a few layers, there's a few levels. There's 3 exchange levels that are pretty important to understand and find out where you're at. Morning, Ashley. Good to see you, mate. So this morning I thought I'd talk us through the 3 exchange levels that I see that are in the marketplace, and that you can, as a property investor, take advantage of as we go along. So let's dive into it. And I got my little iPad set up here today. So morning, Craig. How are you, mate? Good to see you. I'll get the old microphone out of the way so it's not in the way. But what are the 3 exchange levels that are important to understand? I'm just going to move my little iPad over here. Round about there. There we go. What are the 3 exchange levels that are important to understand when it comes to the world of property investing? I've shifted my desk, so I just got to get all my stuff right. It's all a matter of all the things that need to get right. Anyway, there we go. Good to see. Good to see. Morning. Yeah, Karen. It's strange. I think sometimes, Karen, when it shows up, maybe it's because of the if you're in a Facebook group or on your Facebook, your personal Facebook, it might not work. But anyway, hopefully we can work it out. What I wanted to talk to you guys today about is the 3. I'll make that a little bit bigger. The 3 exchanges. That's way too big. All right. Let's try this. The 3 exchanges that I see people going through that we exchange for dollars. Okay. What exchange medium are you at right now? Where is it that you're sitting? All right. So let's have a bit of a look at it as we go along. The first exchange that I see most people in the exchange world is the exchange for time for money. Okay. Now, time for dollars. Now, that's perfectly fine. Most of us have been there once or twice in our lives. We have a job, we have a career, we've got something, we're exchanging our time for money, Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big fan of the exchange, the time for money exchange. It's very predictable, it's understandable. Oh, hang on 2 seconds. Oh, there you go. That's a bit embarrassing. A live sneeze. Oh, there you go. Live television. Anyway, the exchange, time for money, been around forever and a day. Nothing wrong with it. The only issue for me as a coach or a property investor is the time for money exchange has a diminishing return. Okay, a diminishing return over time, but it has an arc, and let me sort of show you what I mean by that. Okay, let's have a look at the time for money exchange. Okay, so over time, let's say we start out at 0, and let's say we go to let's say 70. Hopefully, we're not time for money exchanging for 70 for our living at that sort of stage, but you know, at 0, you've got nothing, and then your working career, and then, you know, like this, and you go like that, right? Time for money is good until you're made redundant. Exactly, Craig, all right? So kind of this kind of center line seems to be around about that sort of 45 to 55. That's kind of the maximum where we get to exchange time for money and we get a return on it, okay? Or, well, we need to get a return on it because over time, when time marches on, this is where it starts to diminish, goes down, okay? Now, by that stage, we need something else. Gang, listen to me. We need something else to take over that time for money exchange and launch us into the next level of exchange, okay? Let me go back to that, and I'll show you what I mean. So the time for money exchange, which we're all participating in one way, shape, or form. The next layer, the next level, layer 1, the next layer, layer 2, or level 2, is we have assets that exchange their value for money, okay? And what do I mean by that? Assets like properties, assets like businesses, assets like shares, assets like whatever. You took some of this money. Okay, hang on. Undo that. You took some of this money, and instead of consuming the money and it going down to 0, which happens for many of us because, you know, we've got to live, you've got to eat, you've got to, you know, take care of the family, you've got to do whatever. You take some of that money and you buy some assets, okay? Now, those assets now, if you look after them, you maintain them, you be smart, you be patient, they start to make money, okay? Irrelevant of the time that you're exchanging. You could spend 0 time doing anything, but those assets are always working and always creating wealth and money for you. The time for money transfer from time to asset exchange is vitally important, gang. Vitally important. So, if you are smart, which you are because you're in the mentoring program and you're getting coaching and you know you need some help, and that's perfectly fine. For many of us, this might be 20 when we start earning, and then let's say we twig onto it at, let's say, 25 or whatever it is. Our asset income needs to do that. As this one diminishes, the asset income needs to catch up and take over. Okay, asset income needs to catch up and take over as we go along. Now, wherever you start on this trajectory, you know, don't get too carried away or don't get too worried if you're starting at 45. Sure, you know, your asset income can go like that because often we've got some other value already tucked away, our house and our high earning potential and those sorts of things. So what we need to make sure we understand the number, the dollars, and how many properties. And you guys have been around long enough if you've been listening. It's about 5 to 7 properties for your assets to then be ramping up, taking over, and earning you the money, earning you the dollars that you want when it comes to your asset income, your asset value. The assets exchange their value. Hey, I have a house, I've got 4 bedrooms, who wants to rent it? Rather than you, hey, I've got 8 hours today, I'm happy to exchange for money, who wants to pay me the most? Okay. And there's nothing wrong with the time exchange. There's nothing wrong with it. But like Craig said, you know, you can't rely on it. It's not as reliable as asset income. Okay. Unfortunately, for all of us, whether we want to appreciate it or not, our time value depreciates over time. The older we get, the less, let's say, functional we are. Whether that's real or not, unfortunately, that is where we're at. The next level of money is an interesting one, and not many of us go this level, and you don't have to. If you've got a great set of asset income and you've done the exchange, the time for money exchange and then transferred. Morning, Ben. Morning, Ben. How are you, mate? Jeff's there too. Devinder, good to see you. As you go, assets will be perfectly fine. Assets will take care of it, right? But what the next level is the deal maker. All right, let me undo that because it's not very well written. There we go. Okay, deal. So what can happen at this level, you can't really read that either. That's all right. You know what I'll do? I'll use another color. Let's see if that works. All right, let me see this. All right, we go green. All right, deal. All right, there we go. That looks... So deal. So deals can create value into the future. So you might find an asset and I think it's actually double S, isn't it? And only one T. But anyhow, I think I spelt it wrong. That's all right. The deal maker finds the asset, finds some money, doesn't have to be their own money, and they put them together and they make money out of doing deals. Okay? Deal makers can make money out of finding good assets, finding people with money that they need to put to work, and creating income and deals. So, gang, hopefully that makes sense today. You know, where are you at? Where are you at? Are you in the time for money exchange? And you know you've got to put as much money and resources into the asset exchange space as possible, as fast as possible. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about acquisition, okay? You know, the acquisition timeline here, the faster you get these deals done, the more time your properties have to grow that income and make you the income that you want. Because, gang, listen, it's pretty simple, really, at the end of the day. Let's face it, right? Here's what we need to know. Once we've got our properties, right, let's say, for example, we've got our 5 properties, and that's a certain value. Over time, those values will go up. That's a given, okay? The longer you own them, the better off you're going to be. I'm not going to talk about capital growth today. But what we want to have happen is we want the rents to go up and we want the debts to go down, right? And remember this, gang, this gap, that gap is the freedom gap. Freedom. The freedom gap. The bigger the gap between the rent income and the cost expenses is going to be where your freedom lies. And gang, the more assets you can put into that gap or into that machine, the better off you're going to be. Okay. So hopefully that made sense today, gang. Coffee and a chat, done and dusted. Hey, good morning, Alison. Good to see you. Hopefully you're awesome and well. Also, anyway, that's it. Hey, join us tonight, mentoring. Remember this, Sam is doing a Melbourne update, property update. Melbourne is on fire at the moment, property-wise, even though we've got some challenges with lockdowns and bits and pieces. Don't miss out on what's going on in Melbourne. It's super awesome. And gang, well, I'm going to be doing a private interview with Bronnie Ware, one of the fastest selling authors, published authors in Hay House history. And we're going to be doing something very cool tonight. It's going to be a first exclusive tonight, so don't miss it. We're upping our game when it comes to the live mentoring nights tonight. So Pratesh, I'm excited too, mate. Thanks for the shout out. And all of you guys who haven't registered yet, get on it. Sam, Melbourne Market Update, and myself, Bronnie Ware and Marcus Pearce, regret-free investing conversation. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be well worth your time. So anyway, that's it, gang. Coffee and a chat done. You guys have an awesome, amazing day. And till tomorrow or tonight, if you're coming along, have a good one. Take care.